Hey everyone, it's Eric. This evening we're playing around with the NVIDIA's GeForce GTX 1080 Ti video card. It's a fantastic high-end video card, great for gaming, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of play around and do a little bit of cryptocurrency mining, give you a sense for what it's doing right now, and what my experiences were with it. There are others, of course, that are running it. They talk primarily about, well, what's the total dollar value that's getting generated. Beyond total dollar value that's getting generated, which is highly variable based on what the exchange rates are between not only Bitcoin and the dollar, but all of the other cryptocurrencies that you mine and Bitcoin, as well as those cryptocurrencies in dollars. There's also some other effects around things like what is the temperature of your GPU as you go and operate it. The application that I'm using for mining here is NiceHash. Not really looking to use this as an opportunity to promote or otherwise NiceHash as a company. As some of you may know, there have been some issues in recent history with the company. That said, ability to immediately take anything that you produce outside of 1/100th of a Bitcoin to Coinbase kind of leaves me in a situation where it's a pretty low risk scenario. So that's what I'm going to use here. I'm also using the NiceHash Legacy Miner, which allows some more advanced features. So I'll show you some of the things that I've done to do GPU temperature throttling to again kind of try and keep my GPU healthy. I don't want to fry the thing out and have it die on me after 6 months. In the bottom left here, I've got a window running with just a script that I've got that's going and executing NVIDIA SMI. It gives us a printout here so you can see what the current temperature is, 20 degrees Celsius. It's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This is sitting in a server that's in my garage right now. It's about 58 or so degrees Fahrenheit out there. That would be about 14 degrees Celsius for those of you in the rest of the world. Current consumption, 7 watts out of a potential maximum of 250 watts on this GPU. Currently running at 0% utilization. So this is all GPU mining. I've done a series of benchmarks. I'll go and show you what the benchmarks look like. Quite interesting, and kind of leave that open for a moment so you can kind of take a look. I've managed to get all of them working except for the CryptoNight XMR stack engine. Had to do a little bit of fiddling with some of the .NET redistributables to get all of them working, although pretty much I would say about 80% of them just worked right out of the box and I didn't have to do anything special to get them running. It gives you kind of a general sense for what they look like. I'm only doing GPU mining. I didn't bother to do any CPU mining. The CPU mining is so incredibly slow anyways, it's not going to make a material difference to what the total output is. All right, so what you're waiting for, of course, is for me to hit the start button. I'll go ahead and do that now, and you can kind of see as things go, and then I'll walk you through some of the settings that I've used here. So we'll go ahead and fire that off right now. Looks like it selected NIST 5 for us using CC Miner. So you can see in my SMI monitoring window there, CC Miner is going and executing the GPU. I've now spiked to 97% GPU utilization and 234 watts, 226 now. So fairly high wattage utilization. The temperature is starting to climb, which is expected here as it continues to get a bit more heat in it. And you can see at the current rate, looks like about $7.65 per day in US dollars. We'll let that run for a little longer here as I've seen a high degree of variability. I've seen it as high as $10 a day, and then as low as maybe about $6 a day. So it's a pretty significant range based on what protocols what algorithms and what blocks the pool is handing. So there you can see it just jumped to $8. I'll let that run just a smidge longer. You can see my temperature continues to rise now. Down here in the monitoring window, I'm now at 73 degrees Celsius. If I look at the spec on NVIDIA's website, this should be healthy all the way up to 105. I don't want it to go that hot, though. I don't want it to run for any kind of a period of time at 105 degrees Celsius, because my fear is that's effectively a slow cooking of the GPU, and I would like to have something that I can continue to have and continue to use for a period of time and have in good health. It's going to continue rising, and at about 80 or so degrees Celsius, we'll go ahead and it should kind of max out at that point. Also, kind of other bits of information here that we're capturing. You can see that I'm using 407 megabytes of my 11 gigabytes of memory. So using the NIST-5 algorithm, not terribly memory intensive. I've got a lot of memory to spare there. Other algorithms are more memory intensive, but if I look at things like Ethereum, but Ethereum is really not profitable to mine on a GPU anymore anyways, so don't really need the memory for any of the algorithms that at least that NiceHash has been passing me along here. I also tried CC Miner with some dedicated script and X11 algorithms just running on a separate pool. They're definitely not as profitable. Doing X11 as compared to the NIST-5 is probably about 1/3 as profitable when I was playing around with that yesterday, just to give a sense for what the comparison is. Bouncing around, looks like we're at about $8.29 per day. Again, this is at the current value of Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and show you some of the settings that I've gone and tweaked here. Specifically, if I look at the individual devices, I can go and specify for each algorithm what is the launch parameters, and I see that I have not established any launch parameters here. So one of the other things that I can do is I can go and I can tack in additional launch parameters, which I'm going to go and grab now in an external window. So let's say for NIST-5 we want to do an additional --t limit equals 65. What this should do is it should cause CC Miner to go ahead and throttle down its usage of the GPU to try and keep it around 65 degrees. Now I've seen it fluctuate. It's not perfect, but in theory that's sort of what the idea is. Let's go ahead and kind of copy and paste that into a few of them, because I don't know what algorithm it'll actually select for me. So and then I've seen, let's do Crypto Night, and that's probably going to be the most likely. Let's go ahead and save and close that, and we'll go ahead and start her up. And of course it picked NeoScript, which is one I've not applied that to. Well, I'll let it go ahead and fire up just so you can kind of see what the value is, and then I'll stop it, and we'll go and paste that command into NeoScript as well. That command that I tacked in, that --t limit equals and a value, is specifically to CC Miner. So for any of those hashing algorithms that are not using CC Miner, it's not going to take effect. Okay, looks like $7.74, and I'm going to go ahead and stop it so I can go and modify. NeoScript. Oh, I had applied it to NeoScript. Apologies for the just sitting there and watching me. I figured it was worth just checking some of these others, and we'll be thorough. X. We need CC minor only. Those are the only ones that this command is going to work for. Allow that to fire back up again. Hopefully we'll see the temperature not go too much over 65. No guarantees on this though. I've been fiddling around with it quite a bit, and it seems to work. I'm gonna say maybe 80% of the time, 70% of the time. And my goal here with this video wasn't to do a whole bunch of takes and mess around with fancy video editing. It's really just give you a little bit of fun, a little bit of view in terms of what I'm getting here, and I'm of course curious to see what you get with your own video cards. I'm now 9 degrees hotter than what I set it to, so it doesn't look like that setting is taking. I'm not going to mess with it anymore for the sake of this video. So you get a general sense to what some of the options are and kind of what the output is. Again, the rates that you should be looking at are not the dollars per day, because the dollars are very, very dependent upon the current exchange rate. So in this case, the current exchange rate is 15,206 Bitcoin, US dollars per Bitcoin. So reasonably high, at least as compared to the last 2-3 days. So that has a high degree of variability. And then of course the exchange rate between whatever whatever coin I'm using that's on that NeoScript algorithm right now. So it's going to have a high degree of variability. But anyway, I hope that's been fun. I hope you find this interesting. Check out a link down below to our site. I've got a companion article along with this where I've got some of the benchmarking details, commands, places you can go to download this stuff, what I'm using here for NVIDIA to kind of output the details, as well as other fun articles that we've posted around cryptocurrency and other things as we learn to live free in our lives each and every day. So have a wonderful evening. This is Eric Seswick signing off.